What's on, people? Today we're going to teach you how to do 50-50s on transition. Before we go into it, you should know that 50-50s are a lot harder than they look, or axle stalls. If you've tried them before and failed, do not worry, we're here to help. So this trick is basically when you're coming up a ramp, you're turning and stalling on the coping with both trucks. If you were to do an axle stall like this, is when you stay still. And then to do a 50-50 grind will look a bit more like this, where you're grinding along the coping. To be able to do this one, you want to at least be comfortable doing backside kick turns. So assuming you can do those kick turns, I want you to think of this 50-50 as a kick turn split into two halves. So we're going to be coming up the ramp, doing a 90-degree turn into the stall, and then another 90-degree turn to get back out of it. Whoa. So when you're coming up towards the coping, as you're doing your turn, you should hear and feel the back truck hitting, and that's when you want to push the front one down so that you've got both trucks locked in position, ready to bring you straight back in. Now, the most essential part of the 50-50, where your weight is going to be. So when you're up here and you've got both trucks on, you don't want to be leaning right into the ramp, but also you don't want to be leaning right back. The really common problems we see with 50-50s, there's two of them. The first one is that the board locks on too much and you've got to adjust it before coming back in. The other problem is that the board comes right up on top as opposed to staying in the ramp ready to continue. So really easy fix. When you're stalling it, keep your shoulders above the board, but your head forward over the ramp. Just like the kick turn, the shoulders are going to play a massive part in this. When you're coming up the ramp, you want to think about turning them so that they're completely in line with the coping. Because if you're only turning to about here, you'll probably find that the front truck ends up on the top deck. If you bring that front shoulder around a bit more, it should help you lock it into position. And then from here, you're going to use your leading shoulder to guide yourself back in. So really think about what your shoulders are doing when you're trying this, because they play a massive part in it. A good way of building up your confidence on this one is practicing dropping in from the axle stall so that by the time you come up and stall it, you're going to know exactly what you're doing. So you come up to the top, put both trucks over the coping, and then from here, one of the most important steps, you want to think about shuffling this back foot so that the truck goes all the way up to the wheel that's on the heel edge of the board. If you can get used to having it locked in like this, it's going to really help you improve your 50-50s, especially if you're looking to get them grinding. So always make sure you shuffle it to the edge before going in. So to land it, you want to think about, like I said before, guiding it in with your leading shoulder, and as soon as you've committed, you want to think about bending those knees. So that's about all there is to know about doing the stall. It's still going to take a bit of practice to get the hang of it, but once you feel like you're getting that lock-in consistent, then you can start thinking about getting a grind instead of a stall. So to stall it like we've done there, you're going to be coming up the ramp quite straight. To grind it, the main difference is we're going to be carving into it at a bit more of an angle, because that's going to help you get across the coping instead of staying still. A good way of getting used to coming at an angle and getting a bit more of a grind feel without actually doing the 50-50 is by doing a trick we call a slash, which is basically just a kick turn up at the top of the ramp, just enough that your back truck hits the coping and gets a bit of a grind. But we're not putting the front truck on, we're not trying to stand on top, it's just a little grind like that. And if you really want to get the best grind possible, you can exaggerate the angle as much as you can and come in with a good speed. That's going to help you grind all the way along it, as opposed to just a short grind. So that is it for the 50-50 and axle stall video. I hope this helps you go and learn them. Obviously, try and learn it on a smaller quarter pipe first, because it's going to help you loads. If there's a trick you've been struggling with other than this, let us know in the comments and we'll make a video just for you. See you next time.